It's a service-grade police and security revolver, and it was manufactured from 1969 to 1983. Kind of looks like the Trooper, doesn't it? Well, there's a reason for that, because this is actually the cheaper, I guess you could say, cousin of the Trooper, and it was designed specifically for that reason. So you'll notice a big difference between the Lawman and the Trooper is it does not have the ejector rod shroud right there. The finish isn't quite as nice. There's no adjustable sights on it. They're all fixed sights on there, and the Electroless stainless steel on there and the rubberized grips. So all in all, it's not a bad gun. It does have a very nice heavy barrel on this thing, and it's very sturdy, and she's pretty darn accurate too. Perfect if you're a beat cop or a security guard or who knows whatever. These were actually manufactured to compete with Smith & Wesson's K-frame revolvers as a more affordable option. Even though not many people know about these, they were pretty darn popular and very effective. So we're gonna take a couple shots with this thing and see just how good she actually is. So let's have a look at the gun itself and see what some of the qualities this thing is. Now, before we start looking at it, of course, it's not loaded, because I don't want to get shot in the face while I'm showing this to you guys, right? Makes sense. But anyway, so as you just saw, it is a swing out 6-shot cylinder that you'd easily put back in there, and she is a double and a single action. Perfect for service use too, and especially given at the time, you know, these were fairly common, the double singles. Now, the groove sights are very rudimentary. They're fixed groove sights, so the same thing with the front, no adjustable sights, very cheap to manufacture, right? Now, one little weak point that I detected was the pretty skinny exposed ejection rod right there. I would imagine that could easily get damaged, but so far I haven't seen any issues with this thing. The trigger pull is very smooth on that double action, although it is a bit heavy. However, when you get into that single action, oh man, you can set it off with a feather. Fantastic. Now, the Electroless stainless steel, I never even heard of that before until my buddy explained it to me. I guess that's pretty rare, so I got a lucky find here. And of course, we got the rubber grips straight from Colt, which they're okay. I like the look of a nice wood grip, but hey, these are nice and comfortable too, and they're original, so I'm not going to fiddle with it. So like I mentioned before, this was made primarily for police and for security personnel, things like that. So at the time, the 70s and the 80s, the go-to cartridge was the 357 Magnum for those kinds of folks. So obviously with a 357 Magnum, you can also chamber a 38 Special in there. For you folks who are new to firearms, you can do that, and that's because the only difference between the two is obviously the more power in the Magnum, and also the Magnum is going to have a longer case length. Okay, so you'll be able to fit the 38 Special in there. They still have the same bullet diameter, and we're even going to be shooting the same weight today too, 158 grains. So we're going to see how they both perform in this gun, in both double and single action, and kind of make our own conclusions from there. So this ought to be interesting. And here's the ammo we're going to be using. So first, I'm going to have some Blazer 357 and 158 grains, and I'm going to have these MagTech 38 Special in 158 grains. All things being even, we're going to have the same bullet weight. Obviously, there's going to be a massive power difference. Okay, the Magnum's going to be much more powerful than the Special. And right here, as you can see in my hand, the case length is definitely different there. Now, this is about the best ammo I could get for the occasion, thanks to our friends over the Donkey Party, we'll call them. Yeah, they're just making things great, aren't they? But anyway, these should pretty much prove the point that I'm trying to make here, and we're going to start off at 7 yards, 21 feet, and I'm going to bring it back a little bit at some distance, see how the groups open up, and then we're going to have some fun showing off some of the power differences between the two.